The COWBOYS Sports Network.
NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Welcome to Come On In NFL's The Final Score. I'm your host, Dog Jackson, and we're presented by the Come On In Sports Network. Well, family, we're going to wrap up week 5, baby, as tonight we get ready for week 6 to get kicked off in the NFC, as it will be the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams coming off surprising losses this past Sunday. But speaking of the Eagles, baby, the Eagles came in flying high as their counterparts flew in from the Mile High City, baby, and landed in the city of brotherly love. It will be Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and Mr. Courtland Sutton coming in the battle of the Philadelphia Eagles this past Sunday in Philadelphia. In this contest, Bo Nix would go 24-39 for 242 yards with 1 touchdown, no intercepts, with an 87.8 completion percentage, with a QB rating and a 61.5 completion rating. Could this have been the preview of next year's Super Bowl? Could this be this season's Super Bowl preview? Could both of these teams meet again? The Broncos got off to an inconspicuous, slow, muddy start to start this season. We saw them in week 1 barely ink by the rebuilding Tennessee Titans in a sloppy game where Bo Nix and that whole team and that whole offense, they just looked all out of sorts, baby. They were putting the ball on the ground like it was a slippery pig, baby. They couldn't hold on to it. But what they did hold on to, baby, this past Sunday was a victory, baby, in the city of brotherly love, going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be the Eagles who could not come up for the first time this season. The Eagles were unable to make that signature play. They were unable to get that signature drive, that signature catch, or that signature run to secure a victory. The Eagles go down for the first time this season by the hands of the Broncos, 21-17. Congratulations to the Denver Broncos. Now, next up on the docket, baby, the Tennessee Titans went all the way to the desert, baby, and they took on the Arizona Cardinals. Tennessee would leave this game with their first victory of the season, and congratulations to young Cam Ward, baby. Congratulations, Cam, on your first victory as a quarterback, a starting quarterback in the National Football League, as the Titans surprised the Cardinals, the up and down Cardinals. This is why people were like, can we really believe in the Cardinals? We want to, but then we get games like this. And this game had one of the oddest plays you may see in a while. You had a quarterback in Cam Ward that would throw an intercept. The defender would pick it off. The thus said defender would get hit, fumble the ball. His teammate would not be able to recover it. He kicks it into the end zone, and lo and behold, he turns into a Titans touchdown. The first one for Tyler Lockett as a member of the Tennessee Titans. For all of y'all, for everyone who by chance have not seen the play, here it is. Let's take a look at it. So here's the play right here. Cam Ward looking, rolls out to the left. And he's going to throw no Cam. No, it's intercepted. Get up. But he fumbled. He kicked it to the end zone. And Darius Tyler Lockett to recovery, baby. Touchdown Titans. As the Titans were shocked. They were shocked. The Arizona Cardinals, baby. And they will walk away victorious in this contest. 22-21. Shout out once again to the Tennessee Titans and their young quarterback Cam Ward on his first victory as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. To me, this was the game of the day. You had the Resurrection Bowl. The Resurrection Bowl, baby. You had the poster child of resurrected quarterbacks today, Baker Mayfield. Then you had last year's resurrection poster child, Sam Darnold. But you see, Baker Mayfield was thrown to the curb, thrown out, looked at used furniture, and given up on by the Cleveland Browns. He restored his career when he went to Tampa Bay, baby. And what has he done since becoming the Bucs starting quarterback? Just lead them to 3 straight NFC South titles, 3 straight playoffs appearances on his way to 4 straight NFC South titles and 4 straight playoff appearances. Now, last year, Sam Darnold finally looked like the Sam Darnold that everybody was looking for. The Sam Darnold, that everybody was looking for when this young man was drafted out of USC. He had a career year, but many were waiting all season. They were sitting there like vultures, like, I've seen Sam Darnold for 6 years, man. 5-6 years, and this ain't the Sam Darnold I've been seeing. Hell, this is the Sam Darnold that everybody was envisioning and seeing. Could it be real? And they waited all season. And Sam said, oh, yeah, it's real. But then he had that game in the playoffs. And that one game, for all those vultures had waited all year, they were ready to ponder. Oh, there he goes. I knew it. But guess what? Seattle said, nah, we saw that resume the entire regular season. Things happen. Football is a team game, not just an individual game. But when you're the quarterback, you get most of the glory. And, of course, you go get most of the blame. But all Sam Darnold has done is walk into Seattle, baby. He has been embraced by the 12-man because of his leadership, his charisma, and his talents, baby. That's right. You had 2 heavyweights going at it. But in the end, it would be Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers reigning supreme, and they come from behind 38-35 ball game. Buccaneers improved to 4-1. Let's keep it going, baby. Let's keep it going. Now, in this contest here, you had the Miami Dolphins. What do you say about the Dolphins? I don't know. What the hell is going on in South Beach, baby? Talk to me. Coach McDaniels, I got to say this. Coach McDaniel is on his last leg. He can throw on the cool shade, baby. He can go get him a Mai Tai because the days are numbered. The Dolphins had a 17-zip lead in this game. Oh, but them Alley Cats, baby, them came back fighting and clawing, baby. Them Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young say, no. Oh, we shut the Falcons out 2 weeks ago. Then we went up to New England last week and got it handed to us. We gonna show y'all who we are. And we're not laying down, baby. And they did not lay down. They came back furious, baby, as they chased that dolphin, baby. They caught that dolphin leaping out that ocean, baby, and they took a grip to that dolphin and they didn't let it go. As the Panthers defeat the Dolphins 27-24, as the days of Mike McDaniel as the head coach of the Dolphins most definitely is winding down. Now, the day got started, baby, all the way across the pond in London, England, where the Vikings would get past the Browns 21-17. Now, in that game, Dylan Gabriel will make his debut as the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And the young third-round pick for the Cleveland Browns acquitted himself quite well in this. Gabriel will go 19 of 33 for 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And by the way, even though the Browns lost this game, let me just say in the last 2 weeks, something that has become quite obvious. The Browns have a young emerging star on their hands in the backfield. Quinshawn Judkins is a beast. He is what the doctor ordered for the Browns and that young quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. Judkins ran 23 times for 110 yards and 4.8 yards a carry. He averaged 4.8 yards a carry. Young quarterback, young running back. Now you got to get your young wide receiver. You got your 2 good tight ends. You got Harold Fanning, the young tight end from Bowling Green. If he's not on your fantasy team, you might want to pick him up because they're running a lot of two tight end, 12 personnel in Cleveland, baby, and with good reason, baby. Fanning is an excellent choice for your fantasy team. Don't just throwing it out there to you, baby. But anyway, it would not be enough as Carson Wentz will go 25 or 34 for 236 yards with 1 touchdown. The great Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 123 yards in this contest. Now, Justin Jefferson caught 7 of his 11 targets for 123 yards against the Browns. When he was matched up against cornerback Greg Newsome, he had 4 targets, 3 catches for 48 yards. So he kind of did a little number right there. He did some work there against Newsome. But again, that's Justin Jefferson, baby. That ain't bad. You hold Justin Jefferson to 48 yards. That ain't bad at all. That was a good job by Greg Newsome. But unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. And there's one thing we know with Cleveland. They got a defense. That defense from Cleveland is real and they're nasty. Real nasty. If this young offense behind Dylan Gabriel, behind Quinshawn Judkins, and those 2 tight ends, that 2 tight end set that they run, man, with a Joku and Fanning, man, and of course on the outside, former Miami receiver Judy on the outside, man. Maybe this Cleveland offense can get going. And what about them trading Joe Flacco? That tells you the youth movement is on as they trade Joe Flacco to Cincinnati. But anyhow, it's the Vikings getting this victory, 21-17. Oh, man, and what a shock. Sunday night football, AFC East, baby. It would be the New England Patriots going in to Orchard Park, baby, taking on the Buffalo Bills, baby. You had the MVP. You had Josh Allen. You had Cooks. You got Kincaid. You got Nash. You got Shakir. But somebody forgot to tell the Patriots, because the Patriots walked in there like, where do you get a load of us, baby? And listen here, for those of you who don't know, one of Dolph's favorite players in the entire National Football League, rise and rise. When I say rise, he rides with the Patriots, baby. He's like Paul Revere, baby. His name, baby, is Christian Gonzalez. To me, he is one of the best young cornerbacks in the National Football League. In fact, baby, if I'm starting a team, baby, and I got to start with a young cornerback, not quarterback, but cornerback, give me Christian Gonzalez, baby, every day of the week, and I'm ready to roll, baby. Let's go get them. Patriots behind Drake May. Great defensive effort. Pull the upset over the Buffalo Bills, 23-20 on Sunday Night Football. Hey, don't look, but the Patriots at this time next week could be sitting here at 4-2 as they now travel down to the Big Easy to take on the 1-4 New Orleans Saints. Oh, he's back, baby. He's back. He was back in the nation's capital, baby. That's right. Jalen Daniels returned, and the Washington Commanders kind of look like the Washington Commanders when he's under center. The defense gets a pep in their step. The offense gets a pep in their step, and they pepped all over the LA Chargers, who, by the way, all of a sudden had taken a free fall after winning their first 3 games all in division and having everybody say, look out for them Chargers. They could be the team to deal with in the AFC. They still could. But right now, they got to stop the leakage, man. They lost to the Giants last week, and now they followed up this week with a loss to the Chargers. Commanders 27, Chargers 10. 37-24 Lions over Bengals. It really wasn't that close. I don't care what you say. I watched some of this game. Let me just say this. By now, you all know that the Bengals have traded for Joe Flacco. Browning was a turnover machine. First game, in the game that he replaced Joe Burrow, though the Bengals won, he was a turnover machine. The next week, on the road against Minnesota, he was a disaster, and he was a disaster again. The long-term answer was not in the building. So they go out and they get Joe Flacco. But my question is Joe Flacco the right answer? That offensive line is not, with all due respect, they're underachievers. They're not among the best in the NFL. Joe Flacco doesn't possess escapability of any real elusiveness. Now, of course, he's a veteran quarterback. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He has pocket presence. But Joe Flacco is not going to outrun anybody. He's not going to scramble or take off for a 25, 30-yard run. But what he does have is T. Higgins, Jamal Chase, and now they feel better at quarter. Now they feel better because they know they got a quarterback who can at least get them a chance to be successful each and every single Sunday. If, and it's a big if, that offensive line holds up. And by the way, get a damn ball to Chase Brown and O-line start opening up some holes. But as for the Detroit Lions, after that week one loss to the Green Bay Packers, the Lions have been roaring, baby. Just like that Ford engine, baby, and that Ford F-150, the Lions have been roaring the last 4 weeks. And I see this team right now as the #1 team in the entire National Football League. Oh, New York. Talking about the Jets. No, we're not. We're talking about, how about them Cowboys? That's right. The Dallas Cowboys go in and they hammer the New York Jets. It wasn't that close. The Jets are 0-5 for a reason. Other than that game, the first game against the Steelers and that game against Tampa Bay, they've shown fight. They've shown resolve. But right now, they don't have the horses. They don't have the man under center. Justin Fields, I'm sorry. Unless he makes a dramatic turnaround starting this week and just continues to get better as the season goes on, does not look like he even has the chance to be the long-term answer for the New York Jets. As for the Dallas Cowboys on the other end, it's time for everybody to take notice. Dak Prescott is having an MVP season. Dak is back, baby. That Cowboys offense is back. Look, no CD Lamb, no problem. They got Pickens, baby. But the godsend for the Cowboys this season has been Javonte Williams. All the young running back formerly of the Denver Broncos who came over this offseason as free agent addition when the Cowboys signed this young man. Your boy Dolph told his friends. I told my brothers who are diehard Cowboy fans. I told my cousins, my family members who are diehard Cowboy fans. I told them, y'all got to steal. There's one thing holding this kid back, and it has always been one thing: injuries. But if he is healthy And I say, listen to me. If he is healthy, you got a starting running back. You got one hell of a running back. And my, oh my, do they have that in Javonte Williams. If you think your offensive line, just look at what he did this Sunday against the Jets. Just look at Javonte here. Look at him just running through on tackles, baby. This is what the Cowboys needed. They haven't had it workhorse, baby, since Zeke Elliott, baby. They now have it right now in this young man. Javonte Williams has been a godsend for the Dallas Cowboys, baby. Cowboys roll over the Jets. Cowboys are now 2-2-1. Still crazy, but they finished the tie. All right, family, let's keep it going. Down in the Big Easy, baby. The Giants came in fresh off the upset of the LA Chargers, feeling good about themselves, feeling good about young quarterback Jackson Dort, who made his first start against the Chargers and engineered that upset of the Chargers and looked good in doing it. Many in New York, Big Blue Nation was like, hey, we finally got a franchise quarterback, baby. It's Jackson Dart, baby. We just beat the Chargers. Now we're going to play the rebuilding lowly Saints, baby. We're going to win 2 in a row, baby. We're going to be 2-3, baby, headed into tonight's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Somebody forgot to tell the black and gold. For if you look a little further than just a 1-3 record that the Saints came into this game with, you will see that the Saints were in position to win. Of the 4 games the Saints had lost, 0-4 coming in, you will see that the Saints were in position to win 3 of those 4 games. But they had to play the game. And all the Saints did was force the New York Giants into 5 straight turnovers. I'm going to say it again. The New York Giants turned the ball over 5 consecutive times. Not just 5 times, 5 consecutive times. 1, Jackson Dart escaping out of the pocket. Somehow, some way, no one around him. I believe he was looking up and trying to change hands with the ball. Just drops the ball. It's recovered by Cam Jordan for the Saints. Then you have young running back Scatterbull running. He gets the ball punched out by Saints defensive tackle Brian Bresee. It's picked up by the safety Jordan Howden, and he goes about 68-something yards for a touchdown that pretty much sealed the game. So the Giants, man, made a lot of mistakes in there. Saints did force a lot of mistakes. And by the way, congratulations to New Orleans Saints rookie head coach Kellen Moore in securing his first win as a head coach in the National Football League. And also congratulations for Spencer Rattler. Take that monkey off his back, baby, because he was 0-10 as a starter. But the young man has been playing good enough football this year for the Saints to win. And he finally got his first win as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Now, will they be able to win again next week? It's going to be tough because they got a team that just upset one of the Super Bowl favorites coming to town in the New England Patriots and quarterback Drake May and wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Man, another team that's in the rebuild. And listen here, I know we talked about the Jets. Let's talk about right now the Raiders. What's going on in the desert, baby? What's going on, baby, with the Raiders? Pete, what's going on, Pete? You were not supposed to be in the rebuild. You brought in Geno Smith. You drafted Ashton Genty. You got one of the most phenomenal young tight ends to come in the league in a long time in Brock Bowers. You got a veteran defense. What the hell is going on? Geno Smith's inconsistent as hell is one thing. Raiders might be thinking about if they're not thinking about it, they might need to be thinking about making a QB change. Because right now, Geno is too inconsistent. You didn't bring him in there to be inconsistent. You could have stayed with what you had. So Geno Smith, man, has to get it together for the Raiders. But on the flip side, Danny Dimes That's right. Daniel Jones, baby, is riding high with the coach, baby. He has brought stability to the QB position for the coach. And Daniel Jones and the coach are off to a great start. The coach have raced out, baby. They're in the first furlong of coming down the home stretch, baby. And they are handling their business, baby. The coach, they, you know, that old coach call you that old Mustang. That's what the Colts have been, baby. They've been wrapping it up on everybody. And they're a couple plays away from being undefeated. Colts defeat the Raiders 40-6. Simply put, this year, it started last year, but this year for sure. I know they had, like someone said, like 8 starters out, Pro Bowlers, all pros, blah, blah. But when they had them in, they still was looking the same. And it don't even feel right saying this. But the Ravens defense is god awful. If your offense is struggling and you have the Baltimore Ravens on your schedule, just wait. Just wait. Because this season, that Ravens defense has been the medicine for ailing offenses that they have faced. This team is giving up an average of 37 a game. And we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens. The same Baltimore Raven team that has Derrick Henry in the backfield. And for 2 weeks in a row, I can't wrap my mind around what the heck is going on in the mind of the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Why in the hell is Derrick Henry not a more focal point in this offense, especially this past week with Cooper Rush starting that quarterback? I believe Cooper Rush is one of the better backups in the league, but you don't throw him in there and just expect him to win the game when you got Derrick Henry in the backfield. You got to get the ball to Derrick Henry. John Harbaugh has done this in the past. He did it last year in the playoffs. They get away. You got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield. I run Derrick Henry. He came there for that, and he didn't use him last year in the playoffs. And then starting the regular season off underusing Derrick Henry. Hell, I got him on my fantasy team shit. I got to bench his ass this week. And watch this week. This be the week where they give him the damn ball 28 to 30 damn times the week I bench him. But it's okay, because I got Quinshawn Junkins as my backup running back. But anyway, the ailing Houston Texans offense comes in, and C.J. Stroud looks like the rookie C.J. Stroud. The Texans find a running game. They're throwing it all over the park. Why? Because they're playing the Ravens. And they smash. I repeat, they smashed the Ravens 44-10. And just as ugly as that score looked, that's how ugly it looked watching it as the Texans just laid it down. They laid the smack down. They opened a can of whoop ass. Shout out to the legendary Stone Cold, baby, on the Baltimore Ravens 44-10. Well, family, that's going to do it for this week's Come On In NFL's The Final Score. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson, inviting you to join us this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern for Come On In NFL. Nope, not Come On In NFL. Rewind, Dolph. Join us this Sunday morning, family, for As the NFL Turns, baby, the fastest growing pregame show on all the social media. Join myself, Zach, Carlos, PJ, Nonfiction, Coach Rock, Learns, Jeremy, and Cowboy, and special guests as we get you ready for all of the Week 6 action. So remember, set that notification bell this Sunday morning, every Sunday morning, all the way through the Super Bowl, baby, as the NFL turns, the fastest growing pregame show on all the social media. Well, family, this is Dolph Jackson. This has been The Final Score. Got a little distracted. This has been The Final Score. I want everybody to have a safe day. And remember, football tonight, Thursday night football, baby, NFC East, as it will be the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Until Sunday, my friends and family, y'all already know the doors are now open. So come on in. See you later, family. We out.
The Cowboys Sports Network.